wanna be Alec Holland. My mud is dry, my roots are hurting.
Is that
All I want is for Abby to pay attention to me.
Beast of Burden?
Yes.
Oh,
Hi.
okay.
Welcome to Fake Nerds Watch episode 2 of Swamp Thing. I just made that up on the spot. What's up? Hire me, Elton John. I'm Romano. That's Sparkz Witty drinking his water. That's Ben Magnet, Elton John aficionado.
Don't you? No, I'm not.
Also, lover of Stephen King. Hi, welcome.
Hey.
We're back. We're going to talk about America's favorite show. We're going to get a couple more seasons. Oh, real quick, they announced today that it was going to have 3 seasons and possibly lead off into a Justice Stark spinoff. So, great news for us, guys. If you haven't heard, Swamp Thing was canceled. We talk about it plenty on the Fake Nerd Podcast. That's not what this episode's about. This is about a great television show. And again, I think the second episode, very good.
It is.
Hey, guys, this show's really good.
It is.
Makes it even
Super
sadder.
solid show.
Yeah.
Why the hell did they cancel it? I'm mad.
Silliness.
It is. It's stupid.
So, it starts directly after Alec's death. Sorry, Alec. Spoilers,
Yes.
He's Swamp Man. Abby's having a tough time because she found someone that she's connected with. You know, hey, Alec Holland. You know, I Googled him.
She has the police searching around for
Yeah.
a swamp bear.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I think...
Some kind of swamp.
Yeah, Matt Cable.
His mom, who we didn't know was his mom when she first showed up, but is his mom.
Jennifer Beals, who is like the sergeant or whatever of the town. Sheriff, thank you. Is the mother of Matt Cable, and she's like, Matt Ball, you've always had a crush on that girl. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. That's cool. But yeah, they can't find Alec's body. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But Abby did see something, and she's a little betwixt, right? She's like, I gotta investigate this.
Yeah.
I gotta see what's going on.
Well, yeah. Well, more. I think her focus is kind of that, but then it becomes much more. 2 more people are like Susie, the little girl, and they're sick,
people
and
still
she's like,
are
"We
sick.
need Alex. Data can't get it because of the cops." So she goes to Papa Sunderland, who apparently we didn't know.
First though, she goes and talks to her homie Liz.
Yeah.
We can't forget that, because we didn't talk about Liz in the first episode, because she wasn't in it for more than a minute.
She was really only there just for like, hey, I heard this thing over yonder.
Establishment of Abby's friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a journalist for the newspaper in town, so she goes to Liz, and he's like, Liz, some real crazy's going on, man, and she's like, maybe go talk to Avery Sunderland, maybe, and so she does
No. She says, I have to talk to Avery because Avery will get me in because he's the person who hired Alec, and Liz says, don't go back there because he gets in your head. He's the master manipulator.
He is. You're right.
You walked away from that family for a reason, which is where we first get the hints of what the actual relationship between Abby and the Sunderlands is.
That's right.
It's more than just the mom blames her for Shauna's death.
Yeah. And you're right about being a master manipulator, because he was working on even me. Avery's like, oh, Abby, I don't blame you for the death of my daughter. I always loved you, and anytime you want to come back to town, Papa's here for you.
Talk about, like, tonal opposite from Mrs. Sunderland's conversation with Abby in the first episode.
Whereas he
just like, I just want you to know, I should have been there, and maybe I wouldn't have lost both my daughters. It's like, damn, Sunderland.
He's a great politician.
Yeah.
Let's say,
it's like, ooh, damn, you are the complete opposite of your wife.
Yeah.
Your wife was ready to, like, throw down in the middle of that bar.
Yeah.
You're like, no, come, daddy's daughter. Come
Which
back home,
Southern
sweet.
hospitality.
And I wonder, like, what does he genuinely feel about Abby in
know.
relation to Charlotte? Because I'd watched the first episode a second time just before, and his wife tells Abby that when they almost got divorced, she was wondering why he could even stay with her. And he said, all this darkness, I don't blame you for it, I blame Abby. That's what she says, Mr. Sunderland said, so... I wonder where he really falls on this.
I wonder if he's just like completely, he just doesn't care, and he's playing the facade.
I think he's playing.
I really wonder.
I'm willing to bet he's playing the facade.
Yeah,
because he had a bit of a tonal change when this is skipping ahead in the episode a little bit, when Jason and his wife go to get the Woodrows officially. Future could be the Floronic Man, hopefully, maybe.
Floronic woman?
100%.
Or Floronic woman, either or.
Floronic family.
There you go.
The Floronic family. Well, the Woodrows show up, and he's just like, yeah, nice to see you. He's like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
What the hell?
What are you doing in my swamp?
Yeah.
What's the line in the first one that always makes me laugh? The ADR, like, the swamp's had enough. Let the girl speak. So Abby and Avery are talking, and Abby's like, yo, I need to get in that lab because there's some confidential shit that might save people's lives. And he's like, oh, Abby, about that, I got research, and I got things you're not supposed to know about.
I got some proprietary information.
Yeah, proprietary information.
If that data were to get out to the
Oh,
general
boy, let me
public,
tell you, darling.
it's like, that's gonna really hurt my bottom line, if you know what I mean.
And she says that, like, she could get a search and seizure warrant for it.
Like,
And-
Avery, this is going to
but
save
she's like,
people's
but
lives.
but the information will probably have disappeared by then somehow.
Yeah.
And he's like, probably.
Maybe.
No, he says probably.
Oh, probably, yeah. Yeah,
he's not fronting. He's
Yeah.
like, probably.
Yeah. He's a sleazy guy, and I really like him a lot. Yeah. Then...
Like, he knows on some level he has to bullshit Abby.
Yeah.
But not fully.
Yeah.
Because he's like, he makes it... I love her line to him where she's like, you were always really good at making a no sound like a favor.
Yeah.
That's a good line, yeah.
That was a good line.
So they have their talk, and then Avery goes home, and is that when the Woodrows show up?
Yeah.
It's a little ways down the road
The
from there,
Woodrows
but...
show up later, but Abby goes back, she goes back into the swamp with Matt to try and figure out what the heck's going on, whereas her partner is also checking out, like, one of the cool scenes I like in the beginning of this episode is that we see Swamp Thing right off the bat. And obviously Alec is trying to figure out what he is.
Yeah.
But he has a connection with Susie.
Yeah.
The director, Len Wiseman, right?
Yeah.
Len Wiseman does this really good job of having the girl playing Susie do the exact same, almost the same movements as Alec, as if the two have a connection.
Yeah.
Because Alec doesn't know what he is. He has no idea what the hell's going on.
He's literally ripping parts of his head off.
Well, it starts with his arm because he's like trying to see if he can pull it away to reveal his arm under it, and there's nothing. There's just nothing except the moss and the swamp and the vines, and then he does that to his own head.
He's like ripping parts of his brain off.
And like Susie's freaking out because she can feel him. She's like, he's in pain. I need to go to him.
He's in the dark.
Yeah, he's in
the dark. Yeah, that's good.
And I really like it because maybe we're getting like some semblance of the green in this one.
After this episode, 100%. Like, they might not go full crazy hard like DC Comics.
Parliament Trees green,
yeah,
but we're getting like some semblance of the green.
Simply them being connected together is like, that's more than just him being a swamp man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he falls down from hurting himself too much, and then the swamp takes him back in, and just like the beginning of the first or the end of the first episode, like rejuvenates him. It's like, hey, I'm back, baby. I'm never gonna die. Swamp Thing's immortal. What's up?
Yeah.
So then, do we get to the Woodies? Because like I know it's kind of
I think
because like the craziness happens after.
Even before we got to the Woodrows, Sunderland had the moment where he goes and he visits his wife, and she's laying in the bed.
That's right.
That was
and I mean, no. The first time before she goes to see Xanadu.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they have that scene, and just like talking to Abby has thrown her back into some mental state, and so he can't reach her.
Right.
And he's already, you can see him like checking out. He's like, Jesus.
Yes.
All right.
And like at first he's like, honey, you can't do this, like sleeping in your dead daughter's bed. That's not good for your health. Blah blah blah. Yeah. And then she's like, whatever. And he's like, well, fuck me, right? Whatever. And it's like, I'm like, I don't really care. Like I had to try, but that's a really interesting dynamic, and
that's kind of like him having that moment with her, I think, is her whatever she does with Xanadu.
Yeah.
Which, let's talk the Xanadu stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever she does with Xanadu is clearly whatever kept her stable enough to be able to be with Avery.
She's like her therapist, but like her spiritual therapist.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It seems like what she's been doing is...
Do you think she's like a medium?
Yes, I think Xanadu has been contacting Shauna, and like Shauna has been kept from going anywhere else. Because of her mom.
She's like trapped there because her mom wants to see her.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's spooky and sad.
And turning her into a tormented spirit.
Oh, that's super sad.
I think that's the implication, because Xanadu even says, like, before they start, she's like, you have to let her go.
Yeah. Also, during the seance scene or whatever, when she's getting her tarot cards read, Sunderland, she vomits up green stuff. And that is like, so we know Avery is doing experimentation with the swamp. Maybe she's sick with something and he's trying to treat her. Maybe she's gonna die to something.
No, because he said why he was doing it. He said when Woodrow shows up, he said you would make all the swampland go down. You could build over it, build new land. It was all going to be. It's not about helping anybody except him getting more land.
Then why?
Because he wants to sell off business stuff.
I wonder why she's vomiting green.
I don't know why she's vomiting green, but it definitely doesn't have anything to do with Avery giving a shit.
Okay.
Because that was like the moment that it became all very clear. He's like, you said this accelerant, take down the swamp, make it so that we could plow through, get more land for Murray. That's the whole thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I was. That makes more sense. I was wondering, like, he has a bunch of different ventures, but like really, that's the one he's really cares about. But yeah.
Yeah, I thought also he was like, we can make medicine, we can do all this stuff to make a whole lot of money. But your accelerant is getting people sick and it's messing up my business.
Yeah.
So yeah,
excuse me. He's like, your accelerant is messing up my business. And when my business gets messed up, there's gonna be consequences. And I'll make sure all three of us are involved.
Yeah. So yeah, the Woodrows show up.
I enjoy doing that southern drawl.
It's fun. It's a fun thing. Yeah, so Kevin Durant shows up as Jason Woodrow, and he has his wife with him, who is new to the comics. It's not something that's there, and that's really interesting. And she's in on his scheme. So it's like, we got a couple of bad doctors. That's pretty fun. I wonder what's going to happen to both of them now that they're there. And Woodrow,
and I don't know if they're bad. That's the thing. Like I think that's probably part of the reason to include the wife is I think there's going to be a turn of making Jason or vice versa bad.
Okay, I did get the impression that he's like arrogant and he's
arrogant in the way of he's arrogant in the way of his science, if that makes any sense. As in, like, he runs up to that one guy and say, hey, this is a Japanese elm, you need to take care of it properly because it's in transplant shock, it's not used to this whole climate or the soil. So for him, he's one of those people who cares more about the plants than he does about the people.
Right. Which
that's
translates
what I got.
I don't think he's like a bad person.
Yeah, no, he's just.
I think he took Sunderland's opportunity in order to further his own scientific path.
Yeah.
I think
that makes sense. Yeah.
And now, but now he's hearing like, there's a problem, and he's like, the problem isn't with me, and it's like, okay, well, the CDC's here, so the problem is something.
Better fix it, boy.
Yeah.
It's actually, that is.
I think Woodrow's going to be pushed to turn.
I think his wife's going to have a bad accident, probably.
Some Sunderland crap is going to go down. Yeah. Veronica Man's kind of going to want Sunderland dead.
Yeah. And it's cool that they're switching up the origin a bit, where the Floronic Man, Jason Woodrow, is the guy who made the accelerant, not Alec Holland.
Yeah.
And that's completely different. It kind of separates Alec Holland almost from this entirely, and brings him in. And I'm like, that's an okay take. I'm okay with that, because Jason Woodrow in the comics is like, he's a real smart dude. He is like the anti-Alec Holland. He's just as smart, but way more conniving and evil.
Yeah.
Not in this show yet, but I also really like the choice of actor, Kevin Durant, because he's normally a big bruiser guy. Like, we've seen him in The Strain playing a big Russian guy. He was Blob in the X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first time he's played like a skinny, like, brainy guy, and I'm like, it really works for him.
Yeah,
it really works for him. He's got a great thing going on. I think I can't wait to see more.
He's got good chameleon capability to kind of become whatever he wants to.
Yeah, he's a good character actor.
Yeah, I really like him for Jason Woodrow. I'm excited to see him more because we only really get him in a scene.
Yeah. So I either you or somebody speculated that maybe the person who shot Alec was Jason Woodrow. He's not.
That was me. That was me. But prior to us knowing how Jason was involved, now I 100% believe it was someone working for Sunderland or Sunderland himself.
I just don't want it.
You don't want it to be.
I just don't want it to be a nameless henchman who killed Alec Holland, because that kind of.
No, I get you, especially with the way they framed it. So I feel like it's probably Avery himself.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah,
because Avery. Now that we know why Avery was doing all this, why Alec was even brought in.
Yeah.
First. Because he brought in Alec to try and look into is this the bioaccelerant or not?
Yeah.
And he wanted him to figure that out without getting too close to the truth.
And then he did get too close.
Because he wanted it to be him, because he didn't want Woodrow there, because Woodrow would be tied to him.
Yeah.
But now it's too out of control.
And now, things are getting crazy. So so Susie and Alec or Swamp Thing, they have the connection. Susie escapes from the hospital, runs to the swamp.
Before we jump to that, I did want to. Well, no, we can jump to that. Go ahead.
So she runs into the swamp. Abby's like, oh shit, we gotta go save this little girl. So Abby and Matt.
She calls up Matt.
Yep.
They start doing this whole police search on trying to find Susie, and they go to the dock, and they're like, hey, where do you think she went? And the dock guy is like, well, she might have jumped onto one of the game warden's boats. The game warden, a really good scene, by the way. The game warden's like just traveling around, just like looking for stuff, just doing his job. And he sees two people dumping more of the bioaccelerant into the water.
Yeah.
And then he's recognizes one of them. They start talking,
It's
and
like, holy shit, is that you, Fred? It's like, ah, hell.
Yeah.
What are
They're
you
like,
doing?
Not again.
and you see Susie just chilling underneath like some blankets in a compartment where obviously the cop or the game where can't see you.
Yeah.
And they're talking it's like, come on, dude, you gotta stop doing this, man. And then shank.
Yeah.
Like literal shank.
Super shank to the face.
Yeah.
Little hook.
Yeah.
Like hook shank.
Yeah. Like almost like one of those theatrical hooks where like you're trying to get someone off the stage.
Yeah.
But
like,
it
in your
caught him in the
face.
cheek, yeah.
I
In
think
your
it's.
face.
I want to say it's for alligators.
Yeah, look,
I want to
is.
say it's
Yeah.
for, okay.
It is.
that makes sense.
I really like seeing swamp police pullovers.
Yeah, you mentioned
Pull
that.
up your boat. Brrr.
You don't often get
Stop the boat there, sir.
Yeah, swamp crime or
really-
swamp crime.
I
It's
really
not something
like
you have.
it.
You have to
Swamp
have.
cops.
Yeah, swamp cops. Yeah, that's a NBC show coming out next fall.
Oh lordy.
Starring Nathan Fillion.
Lordy.
Did we skip over? Is this before or after we get to Sharknado Man?
Oh yeah, we did skip over Sharknado Man.
I mean,
Before.
he's not super important yet, but
the Blue Devil.
the Blue Devil. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
His name's Danny something. Anyway, Ian Ziering, who is a '90s actor and is now in Sharknado, he's like actually acting like a good actor in this. And I'm like, no offense, Sharknado, but I'm like, wow, you got skills, bro. But he's like this ex stuntman living in Louisiana, and he was sharing a place with Alec Holland. And so they're like, oh, we need to find stuff about Alec Holland. Where would he keep his stuff? Like, oh, maybe in the spare bedroom. So they go and talk to ex stuntman Blue Devil.
Well,
I
and
thought
he'd been like. Alec had been editing his own video journals, which they find out about
Yes.
through him. He'd been editing them there and things like that. And it clearly has some kind of cloud upload capability because the very last video Abby finds of him is from the moment right before he died.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
real sad. And Alec mentions like she Googled me, and like clearly he's like smitten and she's smitten, and
Yeah.
everyone's real sad because he's dead.
Yeah.
Not really. They find the info and like, oh, this is where he died, and he's doing stuff. So they go to the swamp, try to find Susie. Hilarity ensues, and
I wouldn't call it hilarity. More like
yeah. Oh, I mean, not real.
like a
hilarity.
person a person
mass murder.
Well, a person dies.
Yeah.
And Susie's like, oh shit.
Takes off.
And she tries to swim away, and one of the dudes who you can obviously see is like bad guy is like, you are definitely a bad guy.
A southern bad guy.
Southern bad guy tries to chase
Deliverance kind of bad guy.
Swamp Tommy Wiseau.
Swampy was yeah.
Yeah.
Swampy
I would
Wiseau.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with
He's
that.
just like chasing this girl in this swamp, like, I gotta find you because I'm a bad guy.
Yeah. Well, also on the
No
way-
witnesses!
Yes. Yeah, no.
Also on the boat ride over, Matt and Abby are having a talk, and finally Matt straight up says, like, yeah, but no wonder why I've always had this crush on you.
Oh my god, wrong timing, man.
Super bad timing.
I couldn't stop looking at you at the prom.
Oh my god. Yeah, so like we
That's
talked about
not
it
creepy.
earlier.
And Abby's
know?
like, I never noticed.
Yeah, we talked about earlier, but like Jennifer Beals is introduced as the sheriff and his mom, and he's like, "You had a crush on that girl, boy. Do something about it." And then like they're in the swamp trying to find this girl and like stop a murder. I had a crush on you since high school, Abby. Matt, this is not the time, my man.
Right, yeah.
It's super awkward.
Yeah.
They do get together in the comics, so like now that Alec's out of the picture, like she's got to love something, right? Until she knows how to love.
Until she-
Well, someone till she can love something.
There you go.
Ah.
Oh, that's good. There you go. Swamp Thing intervenes. He finds Susie.
I have to say the chase scene is pretty suspenseful.
Yeah.
Especially when the machete, when he gets a machete and he like stabs machete between the wood planks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
And it's right in front of Susie's face, and she starts screaming, and the chase continues in earnest.
And Ryan, you brought it up that like we just don't see a lot of horror set in
Yeah.
in like real physical spaces like this,
Yeah,
in a
like-
swamp like that.
Like there aren't horror television is
A,
definitely like
a mostly submerged house.
yeah, like horror television is like one of like the smallest genres. Like there's not too many horror television shows that really are really good. And it's really dark, but you can see what it is. Like it's really atmospheric. Like it's very dark and green. It's like, man, they really got an aesthetic going on here.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm like, damn, it's canceled, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
Because it looks really good.
Yeah, it does look really good. Like, they put money into it for sure. So yeah, Swamp Thing finds evil Deliverance Man, and I think every episode we're going to have one gross scene. The first scene was, like, the Thing monster being torn apart. This scene is a dude getting ripped apart by every limb all at once.
Which
It's a
is
Mortal Kombat fatality.
messed up.
He's
The
like...
Lions come grab him
Yeah.
and pull him out of the house, and I thought, oh, that'll probably be the extent of it. But then they're holding
Yeah.
him and split him.
I was literally mid-sentence saying, wow, I wonder if they're just really gonna, like, go hard on him being just, like, Swamp Thing with the... Oh, they're pulling him in half. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's grotesque and awesome, and I'm like, man, they're really going like fast, but not too fast. Where I'm like, man, he's developing his powers really well.
Yeah.
And him and Abby, like, they're going fast enough where I'm like, man, they could fall in love in this season, which is like not what I expected. Like, you think of like Vision and Scarlet Witch, it takes movies to get where it needs to be.
Yeah.
This is just a chick and a swamp man, and like they're gonna fall in love in like episode 4. That's pretty cool to me. I really enjoy that.
Well, even when Abby does find, they find the game warden. He's dead.
He did.
They try to find. They hear Susie scream. So Abby tries to go and get her, and she sees her, and then she's like just chilling, and then out of nowhere, Swamp Thing just rises from the shadows, and she's like freaking out. And Susie's just like, okay, whatever. But I love how Swamp
Susie's
Thing...
like, no, it's fine. It's okay. Don't be scared.
Yeah, and Swamp Thing's just like, I still don't know what's going on.
I don't know how to talk yet.
Because all we hear him say are just like these roars.
Yeah.
These monster
One
roars.
really great effect that I saw before he learned how to talk, his mouth was like covered with vines, and then as he was roaring, like he actually has a mouth now. I'm like, he's slowly evolving, and I'm like, man, that's a good touch.
But so much props to the costume department, the makeup team for Swamp Thing, because he looks so
He
good.
really does, man.
He looks great.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm so happy they didn't do like a dumb CG thing, because you don't need to.
No.
You really
no.
don't need to.
Like, if you look at Swamp Thing in this TV show and you look at a page from the books, it looks identical.
It looks really good.
It looks great.
Yeah. Like, it looks like the more modern Swamp Thing, like he has wings and giant horns, and he's portrayed way bigger. But like classic, like Len Wein, Alan Moore Swamp Thing, like, man, this is it. They did it right.
Yeah.
It's a great show, great adaptation, all around good stuff.
But also the big like little poke in the side is when they're on the boat trying to get back to Murray. She's like, what was that? She's like, he's in pain. He doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, right.
Well, what is it? He's like,
Did he say anything else to you?
Yeah, like, his name is Alec. And she's like, what? Then that's when Abby gets the gears start turning for Abby. She's like, what?
It's all connected, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Earlier in the episode, so the other thing I did want to touch on is, we end with Mrs. Sunderland going back to the house, and she's laying in the bed. And Avery sees her again. He doesn't even bother talking to her, but then she has this creepy-ass smile, opens her eyes, and there's Shauna,
Yep.
Dead
who
Shauna.
looks exactly the same as she did when she appeared in a vision to Abby earlier in the show.
Yeah, probably at the age when she died.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sad and tragic.
But it's interesting that Abby's seeing her, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wonder if that's just... Ooh, I think that might be just bad...
Bad
the
dreams?
same imagery, because like I think it's just a flashback of like,
No, because she
actually
has a nightmare that she wakes up and Shauna
That's right.
grabs her,
You're right.
looking exactly as she does
You're
when
right.
she's with Mrs. Sunderland and is about to like torture her.
You're right.
And
So
then she wakes up
Do you
from
think, because like Swamp Thing's about supernatural stuff, like do you think they're going to introduce ghost stuff?
Maybe.
that. I mean, they have Xanadu, and
No,
they
I know,
have
but,
her
like-
doing like medium level shit.
Yeah.
It seems like they're going that direction.
I just for some reason it didn't occur to me like, oh, they can totally just go full supernatural instead of it just being science horror. They can do like
No, I think they're leaning towards supernatural.
I didn't even consider like, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because like, yeah, man, Venom Xanadu talks to dead people. Yeah. Constantine, yeah, man. Oh man, I just want thinking about Constantine showing up. God, Justice
That'll
League Dark,
never
baby.
happen.
Yeah.
Thanks, DC Universe.
Yeah, that's okay.
What could have been?
Not DC Universe, thanks.
No.
Higher up than that.
Yeah, old white man, probably.
Probably.
So yeah, man, still a great show.
It is.
Still no complaints. Surprisingly, like I have no problems with the show at all.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
Normally the second episode is where it's a really big hit or miss for me, but I was like, my only like gripe in like the least sense of the word is that there are times where they had the camera on Swamp Thing and then he just continually fall in the water, or we only see the Swamp Thing for about like 5 minutes, and then it would cut to Abby, it would cut to other stuff, but all the other stuff is really good.
Right.
It's like, no, I care. I want to know how all of this plays out. I want to know how Sutherland and the Woodrows play out. I want to know how Abby getting close to finding out what happened to Alec and what's going on with Susie plays out.
Sure.
I want to know. And then we see Swamp Thing's like, oh yeah, what's going to happen? Is he going to speak, or is he going to hear like something from the green or whatever? And then it's just a jump cut to something else.
I think I
Whereas
do. Yeah.
Once again, it's not a big gripe, and it's not something I'm upset about.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that's like, I kind of want a little bit more of the Swamp Thing, but at the same time, what we got at the end of the episode is like, nah, we're good. I'm fine.
I'm definitely excited to see more of the Woodrows.
Yeah.
By a lot.
Yeah. I can't wait to have
Floronic Man.
end of season Swamp Man versus Floronic Man. There's
Oh.
like. It's like an X-Men battle, but instead of like with mines, it's just like vines and plants and seeds. It's gonna be stupid. I'm excited.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hope we see that. I hope we actually see him become the Floronic Man.
I do too.
It's man, you
No,
it's
no,
gotta
no,
happen.
no. Here's why I'm concerned about it.
Yeah.
I'm concerned that it might have been something saved in the last chunk.
Yeah.
That we're not getting.
Or they just do something bad and
So
just,
by
like,
the time
kill
we get
them
to
all.
10, it will have been like hinted that's where he's headed. But because of what we'll see, we won't actually see it become.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
gonna be some blue ballsing shit.
I am curious. Like, obviously, we're super early, but I'm curious if because they didn't know they were straight up canceled when
Yeah.
they finished 10 episodes. I'm
Yeah.
wondering if it's going to be like we made one season and it could end here, or they leave it straight cliffhangery. And I really hope they don't, because that's going to hurt bad.
I mean, it's going to be hard because of what you just said. Like, this is whatever is the end of this season was not the intended end.
Yeah,
Right.
Which is why I am nervous that we'll like get the notions of like. It wouldn't surprise me at all if, like, you
It
know,
ends
it's not
with the
supposed to
Floronic
be.
Man
It's
or
not
something.
supposed to be a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be a cliffhanger that like Woodrew's about to be the Floronic Man.
Yeah.
It was supposed to pay off, but now it is.
Yeah. Well, man, we'll see when we get there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what'll bum me out.
Yeah.
I happened to see when we were watching it on the app, the next episode title. Do you guys want to know what it is?
What's it called?
What?
He Speaks.
Well, I guess we know if he speaks.
Oh,
So I
All right.
imagine he and Abby are gonna see each other
and talk.
and talk the next episode.
That'd be sweet. That'd be
So-
sweet.
Man, I'm just thinking of the anatomy lesson and, like, the crazy mind shit with, like, the worms and, like, holding his skeletal body. Like, I wonder if we're gonna get some of that weird,
Honestly,
weird shit.
like the yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I feel like the most I can hope for at this point, since they canceled it, which is so terrible that they canceled it, but the most that I can hope for at this point is that by the end of it, we're like, you know what? That was a really nice visual adaptation of the anatomy lesson.
Yeah.
And that kind of just have to be where that
Yeah.
ends. Like, it was a really nice adaptation of that one story.
Yeah. Of those 3 issues.
Yeah.
But I'm still mad. I'm
Yeah.
still mad that they.
I think we're
going
gonna
to
be mad for a while. I think we're only gonna get more mad because I don't think the show's gonna
like
get
the
worse.
closer the further along down or the farther along we get with a show, we're just gonna be like staring at the camera, going, "Ah!"
It's almost, this is, like, really horrible to say, but I almost want the show to become bad. So it's like, oh, I don't feel bad that I'm not gonna miss it. But, like, I know it's a silly, like, I don't actually mean that, but I'm like,
No, but I understand because like
if it's so good,
if
like,
it got worse, you could be like, well, we're all being saved.
yeah,
But I don't think that's the case.
exactly, yeah.
I don't think that's the case at
Yeah,
all.
this isn't a Game of Thrones situation.
Even
No.
if it dipped below how much I'm liking these first 2 episodes, I just don't see it dipping so low
Yeah.
in this season that I would be like, yeah, don't do any more of that.
And what gives me more hope and praise is that, like, usually when you do television shows, the pilot is made and then that director leaves, and it's like it's a couple weeks or even a year before they do the actual television show. Len Wiseman directed the first and second episode.
Yeah.
He's fully involved the whole way through. He's not directing every episode, but he's involved the whole way through, which means they have a clear vision. So I don't see the show possibly getting worse.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's the bummer. Oh well.
yeah,
Hey guys, check out Swamp Thing in your local comic book store.
definitely,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
read Swamp
check
Thing.
out your Scott Snyder and your Alan Moore's comics.
Yeah. Hey, Len Wein too, if you want the original.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
good. It's
Yeah.
good.
And go ahead and pick up DC Universe subscription and watch Swamp Thing, because
Yeah.
honestly, if more people will pick it up right now, even in spite of them announcing cancellation, maybe they'll think twice about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
We have seen show like Young Justice. It was canceled and it was brought back.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe if a lot of people do go out and get the DC Universe and watch Swamp Thing, because I assume Warner Brothers has a way to track to see what gets watched.
Oh yeah,
Of course.
They have to. Netflix does it. They have to do it.
They see the headlines. They know people like this show.
Yeah, exactly.
If-
If people just comment or just tweet or just say anything about how great the show Swamp Thing
yeah,
is,
tweet about it a lot.
maybe
I should tweet about it.
I need to
Hashtag save Swamp Thing. Hashtag save David the Class. Hashtag save Happy. Save all the comic book shows. They're all in limbo, baby.
All the good ones.
All the good ones.
Yeah, all the good ones. But definitely Swamp Thing, I feel deserves more. A lot more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Say Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Tweet about it. Tweet about it weekly. Check out the show.
How much could tweet about it now? Hashtag
There we
save-
go.
Hashtag save Swamp Thing.
If Brian Fuller can still come out and say, "Hey, the whole cast is waiting to do more Hannibal," then Swamp Thing can
Yeah.
still come back anytime. No. My point being,
No,
like,
yeah, I know.
even though like Swamp Thing might
Like,
get
the hope
canned
is
now,
still there.
the hope can still exist that James Wan's got a lot of pull, arguably more than Brian Fuller.
Way more than Brian.
Yeah.
Fuller.
So Swamp Thing can come back if we show that the audience is there for it.
Yeah, I agree. I've been Ryan Leopolis.
Yep.
That's Sparkz Witty.
Hey.
That's been Magnet.
What's up?
Tweeting about Swamp Thing.
I'm actually tweeting at the DC Universe and saying that Swamp Thing should... hold up,
No, you're good, baby. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're part of the Fake Nerd Podcast. We have a new podcast every Sunday. We put them up on the YouTubes as well. We got Basement Arcades. We got specials. We got older episodes. What am I missing? We got other stuff.
This week we are also dropping an interview special with Ken Knapsack.
Heck yeah, we are.
Who wrote a book called Why We Love Star Wars. And we did that. That's about a 2-hour interview that we're dropping this week. And
great
our
talk.
most recent episodes are going to be up on the YouTubes this week as well.
Yep.
Basement Arcade will drop later in the week, probably around the same time as the Ken Knapsack interview, or maybe a day later.
We will be filming. We will be making another Basement Arcade special, but it won't come out this week. And then we'll be doing a E3 special.
Yes,
Yeah,
we will
definitely.
be talking E3 before the week is over, and that will be here as well. So all of that. We will also continue to be doing Fake Nerds Watch and talk about Swamp Thing.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and seriously,
That will keep
I'm
happening.
just about to hit the tweet button, but I wrote, hey, at the DC Universe, that hashtag Swamp Thing show is downright amazing, all caps. Save it, all caps, I want more. Hashtag save Swamp Thing, tweet.
Hashtag.
Hashtag save Swamp Thing.
Hashtag
Yeah, that's
Fake
the
Nerd
thing.
Podcast. Hashtag I love you.
Wait, how many followers do I have? I have 71 followers.
That's more than
And,
Swamp Thing has.
And
Yeah.
last time we forgot our sign off, but this week I'm gonna say stay swampy, nerds.
Stay swampy!